The morality system in Suffering Ties That Bind permeates everything. Every choice you make can possibly affect the end result of the game. This is as simple as killing people, helping people, ignoring people.
The morality system is essentially what we use to differentiate the story.
We want players to be able to make choices in the game that lead to these different outcomes. You know, it's still a shooter game, so your expressive potential is limited to sort of using your guns to help someone or using your guns to kill someone. I'm always frustrated when there's a friendly companion in a game and you're not able to shoot them. You know, I'm the player, I want to make that choice, I should be able to kill them. So we wanted to allow you to do that in the game. At the same time, we want, you know, the choices you make to have real consequences. So the morality system actually affects the story in several different ways as you progress through the game. You'll find different characters only on some paths and not on others. You know, on one path, Jordan will actually become your companion for a level, and you'll sort of be able, you know, she's a very tough, self-reliant creature with her grease gun, and you'll make a good duo fighting together, but only if you're on a certain one of the paths. It's great for replay value too, where players are able to go through on one path and then say, wow, I really like that game, I really like the gameplay experience, maybe I wouldn't want to experience the same story again, but if I replay, make different choices in different places, I'm going to get a pretty substantially different experience the second time around.
Morality can actually change not only the story, but the attacks that the insanity creature can get along the way. The more that the player goes on one path or the other, the more powerful or potent the attacks can be. If the player chooses to stay sort of more neutral and doesn't decide to go on a particular path, it's actually to their detriment in the sense that they don't get those upgrades to the insanity creature that they otherwise would get. The special attacks being closely related to the creatures that you find in the game, all are attributes of the monsters.
So good is always going to be the hardest path in Suffering Ties That Bind. It's very hard to be a good guy in such a horrific world, and we want to make sure that pays off for the player. If you follow the good path, you'll eventually be rewarded with a pretty good ending. And it's not just the good path you could play. You could start off with an evil beginning and redeem yourself by playing the good path. Carmen, your wife, is there to help you on the good path, and she has some special powers of her own. You know, we don't really want to reward the player for not making a decision, and yet standing by and letting things happen is a choice you can make in the gameplay. Ultimately, if you play the entire Suffering Ties That Bind through to a neutral ending, I don't think you're going to feel very rewarded. You're going to feel like there are other paths for you to explore. So evil is a tough one. It's pretty much easier to be evil. It's always easier to kill a guy rather than helping him. Someone who might need to tag along in the game or be a companion can be dispatched pretty quickly. Evil is also not about being a psychopath. It's not about killing everything. It's about turning that knob that turns on the gas that kills the guy behind the glass. It's about not rescuing the person. It's about standing aside and letting evil things happen. In general, if the player follows the evil path at the end of the game, he's going to have a very interesting ending and a very interesting confrontation with Blackmore or with Jordan or with both.